Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we say farewell to the Go Nagai collaboration and start May off on a relatively fresh note, it looks like that Imagineer and So What are most certainly not going to be slowing down by any sort of means or capacity, as we segue straight from a collaboration into the drop of not one, not two, but three brand new models, and Orimedas at that no less, to officially grace the game with their kits and what kind of specs that they bring to the table. It's going to be a really, really heavy couple of weeks when it comes to gacha banners, so if you aren't already hemorrhaging for rubies, this may or may not be a relatively hard week for you to stomach. But the good thing, though, is the fact that we are getting technically I'm going to say 2.5 technically, but 2 models of the 3 that you see here from the previous Orimeda collaboration, that Orimeda contest, that will be officially starting this week to be graced into the game. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced and go ahead and get started with the gacha banners. And boy oh boy, are there quite a number of them this week. Starting the lineup, of course, are the Orimedas themselves. The first of which on the line is ANB01 Anuhat, the Anubis type, with a kit of Full Charge, Ghost, Rebirth, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Desert type. Next to him, we also have MCT02 Mystery Cat, the Cat Burglar type, with a kit of Disturbance, Level Drain, Charge Drain, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Illusion. And then last but not least, this was not 100% official because they're keeping the model number relatively quiet, but for the time being, I'm just going to assume, based on current pattern, that this one will be TKY03 Takeyashahime, the Yashahime type, with a kit of Curse Shot, Panic, Meteor, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Hostility. Now, there's going to be a lot of very nice hype between all 3 of these models alone. Takeyashahime in particular, like I said, is technically debuting this week, but only if you're willing to pay the money for the paid banner specifically. Otherwise, you are going to have to wait until next week when she does officially launch. So, I probably will not release her breakdown until next week once I actually figure out what her number is. The other 2, though, will be going live this week as normal. In addition, that paid banner specifically that I did mention will also include other well-known Orimedas from relative recent events, including Steam Gunner, Kairen, Musha Beetle, and even the Idol Twins and a number of others. Now, when it comes to rerun banners this week, like I said, it's going to be a very large number of banners. Kind of, honestly, probably more than it was with the Go Nagai collaboration at the end. But the first half of those rerun banners is going to be largely Egyptian-themed, basing off of Anuhat as other allies with the same kind of theme and idea going. The first of which of those reruns is TTM0 Teki Teki Mamira with Charge Drain, Armor Drain, Confusion, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Revenger. Next to him we have EPP0 Empress Patra with Precognition, Punishment, Blow Away, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Through Fight. And then last but not least, a friendly face we haven't seen in banner for a pretty hot minute now is EGT0 King Pharaoh with Tornado, Double Break Hammer, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Desert type. So honestly, if the Orimedas themselves really don't appeal to you, but any of these 3 do, then honestly that's 100% okay, because all 3 of these models have something really, really handy that they can bring to the table as well. My personal recommendation for banner priority, if you are planning to go after these, first of which would be Empress Patra specifically, especially for what she brings to the table with Punishment and Through Fight. And Precognition and Blow Away is also really nice. Next to him, I would also honestly have to give King Pharaoh the next in line, primarily for Tornado, but also because Heavy Punish with Break Hammer on either arm, but Tank Legs with Desert type is honestly really hard to ignore too, because Tank Legs that have S rank on any other terrain minus Cyber is kind of hard to come by, and that honestly may very well save you if used strategically in the right terrain and with the right team building. Now, with the addition of these three, and lastly, of course, of Mamira at Teki Mamira at last, he's nice to have. Honestly, I do kind of like him the most when it comes to aesthetics, but when it comes to stuff he brings to the table, probably not nearly as viable compared to Empress Patra or King Pharaoh. Now, the other half of the rerun banners that we have this week is going detective themed, specifically to be based around Mystery Cat, the cat burglar type. And those three are basically just all three of the detective trio that we've had from previous, as other models introduced in Medarot S officially. Starting that lineup is DTT0 Mystery Leader, the detective type himself, with a kit of Fighter Core, Effect Clear, Flash, Wheeled Legs, and the leg ability of Land Cruiser. We have the Field Agent type DTT01 Wonderbell with Repair Plant, Float Suppress, Sacrifice, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Shape Memory. And then, of course, we have the iconic sidekick and mascot DTT02 Sidekick with Time Attack, Hyper Crept, Disturbance, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Illusion. Now when it comes to the detective trio, these are a little harder to kind of gauge over which ones are really good and which ones aren't, because they all have something really, really useful, but only one or two really stand out based on how you're going to use them. For that reason, and when it comes to gacha priority, much like I did with the Egypt theme for Anahapt, for the detective theme for Mystery Cat, minus the Orimedas themselves, of course, I would have to give Sidekicky the really big MVP of the three, primarily for the really fast biped legs he has, and then of course an arm with disturbance on it, which alone is immensely invaluable if you want to be able to stall enemy movements and be able to use it over and over, even if it was nerfed from 5 charges to 3. Next to Sidekicky, I would have to give Mystery Leader the next big MVP for the gacha priority, primarily because Wheeled Legs with Land Cruiser is really nice, much like King Pharaoh with Pink Legs and Desert type. Wheeled Legs are really picky as well, so anything that they get an extra S rank on will honestly be a very open welcome in my book. And then lastly is Wonderbell, primarily for the reason that she can be useful, but probably not as say as viable as say Mystery Leader or even Sidekicky, but this is only my personal opinion on it. Now, with the fierce battles we have this week moving forward, it's going to be a pretty busy week as well, focusing primarily on a lot of turn skipping or AoE type of enemy parts. Starting that lineup, we have GDR0 Gun Desperado with Rifle, Double Anti-Air, Biped Legs, and Gunman. Next to him on that top row is HNM0 Hanu Monkey with Shoot Trap, Heater, Hammer, Biped Legs, and All-Rounder. And then on this top row is KAB0 Grade Kabuki with Triple Virus, Wheeled Legs, and Charm. On the bottom row, we're starting with MDR0 Don Drill with Virus, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Rumbling. In addition, we also have JOK0 Shootboard with Heater, Beam, Power Rifle, Biped Legs, and Aim. And then last but not least, GMN0 Gemini with Optic Guard, Wave, Hold, Wheeled Legs, and Adapter. Now, honestly, when it comes to the MVP of the week, it was kind of hard to decide because there really were a lot of different parts that could be useful in one form or another. But I did honestly have to boil it down to Shootboard or Gemini for 2 specific reasons. For Shootboard, I had to give it to his Power Rifle, because even if it is only a rank 1 part, and it is expensive to raise, getting it up to 5-star will be immensely worth it because it is a very powerful part that you can get very early on, and for free no less, that you can use basically even into endgame. And for Gemini, Wheeled Legs with Adapter is nice as it changes all of the terrain compatibilities not at S rank to A rank, which means you can use it on basically any terrain and really not have to worry about where Gemini is going. Everyone else, Don Drill, Grade Kabuki, Hanu Monkey, and Gun Desperado, all have very powerful skills that can be used in one form or another, but those two, Shootboard and Gemini, are probably going to be your really big MVPs of this week if you are going to farm. Now for event stuff, and before I do go forward, I do want to mention one last friendly reminder. The gacha bottles for the Go Nagai collaboration are closing this week, so if none of this appeals to you and you want to take a couple final cracks toward those, this is kind of your last chance. So make sure that you do collect those before they disappear, because like any other collaboration, there's no real telling that we're going to be seeing them again anytime soon. But For stuff going on this week, however, so getting back on track, we are going to be seeing another relatively small event to kind of keep things going and keep the momentum onward. This time around, no Medarotters, no event rewards or anything like that with bots. This time around specifically, we have the opportunity to earn the Phantom Medal, which has a mastery in melee, supporting, and setup, with a leg mastery in biped, floating, and flight. We can also earn an additional BGM, which is Shiny Beginning, which likely has been playing over the course of this week's episode on the official Medarot channel. So, going to be a relatively quiet week in terms of new stuff, especially with as far as events are concerned. But this event in particular will be ticket-based, so mixed parts will be encouraged as you build your teams. For the blue ticket bonus, as you see here, since it is going to be a two-week event specifically, for the +3 bonus, all three of Team Egypt and Team Detective will give you a +3 each. +2 for Aurora and Makairidis, which will be the two PvP rewards for this month, which I will get to in a minute, and +1 for any of the fierce battles listed as you see here. The blue ticket Medarotters for the R-rank versions of Arase, Salt, Kuji, or Karen specifically, and a +1 for each of them and an N rank specifically. For the silver ticket bonus, which will be for the premium rewards specifically, such as Metagist and likely the medal or anything else in between. Of course, all three of the Orimedas, Anuhop, Mystery Cat, and Takayashi Hime, if you're impulsive and impatient and want to get her sooner, will give you a +3 bonus, minus Yashahime, which will give you a +1. For Medarotters, +3 for SR ranks Kuji or Karen, and a +1 for SR ranks Arase or Salt. So, like I said, it's going to be a pretty busy week in terms of gacha models, but luckily you only need one part of each to really capitalize on that bonus. You don't need the whole set, but it would be nice if you do. One other thing to mention with event stuff is we are also getting Super Invasions featuring Anuhopt and Mystery Cat, as well as Wave 1 of event missions, where we can earn additional Ruby Shards and gacha tickets. Now, I highly suspect that this is going to be a 2-week event as we continue on through Golden Week celebrations. So very likely next week we'll see one for a Takayashi Hime, and very likely another really big model to highlight with her as well. No real telling what the modifiers will be for these two, but so make sure you do stay in touch, not just on our Discord server, but also in the link to the Google Drive listed below in the comments, so that you can keep in touch with any other strategy guides relating to Super Invasions, my beginner's guide, or anything else in between. Lastly, for a PvP of reward skins this time around, Imagineer decided to really throw us for a loop, and this is making a lot of people really, really, really excited, because we're only getting 2 new skins this month, specifically, which is Kintaro style Aurora and Bear style or Kuma style Makairidis, but we're also getting a rerun of the Oriental style Samurai, which was a previous event reward from probably close to a year ago, which is honestly really big news. In addition, they are also releasing the Mad Naturi skin and the Bastroyer skin, also from previous PvP months, as officially available in the convenience store for 200 rubies each. This is honestly really big news, because if you follow me on Twitter, I recently made a post talking about all the different skins that are available, and how it would be really, really nice to add some more viability and use to the diamond currency, since if you've been playing for longer than 6 months, you probably have bought every skin in there already, whether you have the models or not. So these will be really nice to have. Backstroyer specifically will be really nice, because that model is permanently available as Fierce Battle, so everyone's already likely got him. And even if you miss the PvP opportunity to get him the first time, this is your opportunity to get him now, for free basically, as long as you have the diamonds on hand. And of course, as a friendly reminder, Aurora and Makairidis will be sticking around all through the month of May, so that you have an opportunity to collect them when things slow down, if either of them tickle your fancy. With community stuff, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any of our current projects and endeavors. Right now, still tentative completion for Medarot 3, but still need some playtesters to really just make sure everything's behaving as it should, and just a couple other final menus and some bug testing and grammar checks to make sure everything's behaving as it should. That way we can work on other projects such as Medarots 4 and 5 and Navi. 4 in particular, I'm told, has easily another 25% more text than 3, and 3 alone has taken a good couple of years just to translate and get this far. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or if you know somebody that'd be willing to lend a hand, We would appreciate any help you'd be willing to provide. Ask around, join our Discord and ask around. We can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. With the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, it honestly did not take very long for the fan art of the new Orimedas to start hitting the scene on Twitter, as obvious by this piece here by Twitter user MNK Shiki, who does a lot of fantastic art and is the designer of Dead Dog, everyone's favorite overly ripe dead zombie doggo. And of course, this one here by Twitter user 7ida7hushi, who did a really neat piece of Twin Tail Cat, who really, strangely enough, you really don't see a lot of art of, being completely honest. He's one of those models where you kind of know he exists, he's there, and then he's just kind of forgotten and left by the side. So it's really nice to see art highlighting models that really don't get a lot of time in the spotlight. So definitely feel free to give both of these artists a follow to see more of their wonderful art in their community. And honestly, the everyday life that I see from users like 7hushi do a lot of fantastic, like, everyday life kind of art, and that's the kind of stuff that gives me life. You absolutely will not be sorry for giving either of them a follow. One final note as well is that, as a friendly reminder, is that I am officially open for commission still. I can do 3D models, fully rigged, optimized, textured, ready to go. I can do live 2D models, ready to rig. I cannot rig, unfortunately. And I can do traditional art of varying degrees. I can do emotes. And I keep it all very relatively affordable, just so that if people are looking to start and get something new and not break the bank, we can certainly try to make something happen. You can reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord if you would like more information or some other samples of things that I have done, and we can try to make something happen. But with all that being said, like I said, relatively quiet week in terms of stuff to be introduced, but most certainly not slowing down with as we say farewell to the Go Nagai collaboration. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that is also running, and very close to cresting over 20,000 members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, weekly contests, my episodes, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter, like I said, at Isagamikura, and I leave my DMs open on purpose for this very reason. For commissions, or feedback, or collaborations, or anything else of the like, feel free to reach out to me. We can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, do give my wonderful friends Sane, Vector, and Ryoko a follow as well on Twitter to see their stuff on your feeds as well, and even tune into their streams. And as a friendly reminder, this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, May 4th, yes, you can make the May 4th jokes now, I will be having a collaboration with all three of these pals of mine again, as we do content warning and try to become viral spooktubers overnight and try not to die while doing so. And then, as one more reminder, I am also hosting my first ever art stream the day after on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing you tune in, if not on my side for the content warning collab, but also maybe even for the art stream as well. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.